Hi guys, it's Rocket Baby. Please just ignore the fact that I'm having a massive breakout right now. After the last video I did, somebody in the comments asked if I would do a Q&A video, and they had like a bunch of questions, and so I was like, maybe more people have questions too. And what do you know they did? I put out like a little question box on my Instagram, and I got like a whole bunch of questions, way too many to fit in a video, so I'm just gonna answer some of them. There were like a lot of commonalities. A lot of them were like basically the same question, so I kind of just like squished those questions together, and yeah, we're gonna answer them right now. This Q&A is gonna be about like my work. It's gonna be about my work. I'm gonna be talking about doing OnlyFans, and I'm gonna be talking about like doing YouTube and Twitch and like my other social media stuff that I do. I guess my disclaimer for this video is just that like whatever I'm talking about is gonna be my experience with using YouTube, my experience on Twitch, my experience with OnlyFans, and making adult content and being an adult content creator who's out there existing in the world. It's not gonna like speak for everybody. Like there's a bunch of different content creators out there, and we all have different experiences doing this kind of thing. So yeah, I'm just speaking for myself. Let's just clear that up right away. I'm reading off my boyfriend's iPad. I really hope he doesn't get mad at me. Thanks in advance for letting me borrow this. Also, I just guessed your password, so I want to think about making it a little more secure, to be honest. Okay guys, question 1. This was the question that I got asked probably the most times out of all of the questions, and that is, what got you into OnlyFans? And the answer to that is basically kendama got me into, not kendama itself, but like people who I met and learned about through the kendama community and through playing kendama, is basically how I learned about OnlyFans. And I'm not gonna say specifically who it was, because I don't really want this person to get any more clout than they already have. I don't really think that they deserve it. Not only that, I just kind of think they're like a shitty person. But basically there was this girl who had like a massive following in the kendama community, and maybe this is another video for another time. I'm not going to get into the drama or anything like that. Anyway, she DM'd me basically like when I first started my kendama account, almost like I had like no followers basically, back then, and she was dating like literally like the guy in kendama, like the biggest, world champion kendama player. And so she got him to DM me right away, and so I was like, oh my god, wow, I feel so special, oh my god. Anyway, lots of drama happened from that, but I was following her for a long time, and while we were like friends, she decided to make an OnlyFans account and just like posted about it on her story and stuff. And so I was like, that looks really interesting. I'm curious. And basically as soon as I learned about what it was, I was like, fuck yeah, I'm doing this. Like literally this looks awesome. Like I have to get into this. Basically, as soon as I felt comfortable taking like sexy photos, it was like an addiction of mine. Like I just wanted to do it all the time, and I would have like it became like an art form. Like I'm an artist, I draw a lot, or I used to draw like all the time, and this became like my new way of making art for myself, was to just take sexy photos, like design, lingerie shoots, and I would like buy lingerie and do like sets, and I would like do makeup and everything, and it was just like really fun and like super creative. And I was like, I'm gonna be doing these photos anyway because I'm posting that kind of stuff on Instagram, so like why not start like trying to make a little bit of money off of it. Yeah, and that's how I got started with OnlyFans. Question 2 that kind of goes along with that is what drives you to do it? What drives you to do OnlyFans? I just talked about this a little bit, but like I do use it as like a creative outlet. Like for me, as an artist, it's really fun. I really enjoy getting to like basically have like final say in everything, you know, like makeup, hair, outfit, like posing myself. It's just like, it's fun and it's creative, and I enjoy that aspect of it. So that's definitely like a huge drive for me. Like I know that if I wasn't doing OnlyFans, I would still be taking these photos, like these kinds of pictures, and like doing this kind of stuff. So yeah, it's just like, it's something that I would be doing anyway. The second reason is that I really hope that OnlyFans is going to like change the way that porn works, that change the way like porn is consumed by the public. Like, you know, I'm probably going to say this again in the video, but like OnlyFans porn is basically like the organic, free range version of porn. Like it's, you know, that whoever's in the video has decided to make this content and it's like their genuine, authentic content. So like, well, number one, you can feel like really good about using it, about watching the porn, about like taking in the media, because it's going to be like whoever is in the content is not only consenting, but like enjoying the process of making it, for the most part. I can't like speak for every single OnlyFans creator, but I know for me, like my content is just authentic to me and who I am. And like, so letting people like be able to see a version of sex that's just like true and genuine and authentic versus like whatever crazy fucked up bullshit stuff happens in, you know, like in mainstream porn, I think is amazing. And I think like that's the direction that we should be moving with the porn industry. Okay, question 3. This was another question that a lot of people asked. Have you ever been recognized in public? And are you worried about becoming too famous? So I have not been technically ever recognized in public. I had one person message me, one of my subs on OnlyFans message me and ask me, like, he was like, oh, do you work at X company place? And I was like, yeah, I do. And he was like, oh, I also work there and like I've seen you. But that was as far as it went. He never like approached me in person in real life. So I don't know. It was no big deal. Nothing really came of that. Honestly, like I think it might be fun to kind of like meet some of my fans out there in real life. Just like happen to run into them. I don't know. There's something exciting about people being like, oh my god, I know you from your YouTube, or, you know, whatever. I know you from your content and it's really cool to see you in real life. I don't know. I mean, I don't want people to be weird and creepy, obviously. But most people aren't. Most people are nice and respectful. So I'm not really worried. I also don't live somewhere that I'm like around a ton of people. There's not like huge numbers of people around me constantly, and I don't go anywhere. Maybe that's weird to say, but I don't like go that many places. I mostly just go to the gym every day. So like if someone were to recognize me at the gym, I would be a little surprised, because I don't know, just like not many people live where I live or go where I go. Somebody asked what's my boyfriend's side of the story, so I'm gonna have him come and talk to you guys a little bit about what about his experience with me doing OnlyFans. And yeah, we were dating like way back then when I first decided to start doing OnlyFans. So he's been around for the whole journey. He's seen the ups and the downs, every part of it, every gross, disgusting creep online. He's read the comments, so he knows what's up.
What's your boyfriend's side of the story? I shouldn't look at you. I should look at the camera.
Probably.
Yeah. I'm a content creator. Do I address you, or do I say she? Do I say you, or do I say she? Do I say she or you? Because I will be looking here the whole time.
Okay, you are looking here. I'll just stand right behind the camera.
That's a lot easier. That way
you
I
can just talk to
you.
me.
Okay.
Tell me, how you felt when I started doing OnlyFans.
I hated it at first. It made me really angry, actually.
What? Why?
Well, I was kind of in this annoying phase where I thought that getting a girlfriend meant you own them, and their body, and that it would make a difference if people saw them in a sexual context. I'm well aware of how ridiculous that is now. But at the time I was kind of like, oh, this like makes me feel bad, even though it shouldn't. And you actually said, like, you were like, what difference does this make? Like, what? And I kind of had to think about that, because when I went to respond, I realized none. It makes no difference to me in my life. The only thing is that there's this deeply ingrained male thing that says you should be upset if your significant other is being seen as a sexual object by other people. And that was something that I had to work through and realize that it makes no difference whatsoever.
How'd you work through it?
I mean, I really just came to that conclusion, was it's ridiculous. You know, I worked through it by just realizing how illogical it was. And thus I was like, oh, okay. I still felt that way for a little bit, but I was kind of like, whatever.
So we didn't have any conversations or anything where we talked about it?
I just said we did. We did. We talked about it a lot. And I expressed my discomfort. And you said, but you're still going to do it because you want to. And I've matured. And now I'm right there with you, participating. Yeah.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. What was your involvement like at the beginning versus now?
It was... I don't remember when specifically I started to be involved in almost any aspect, like not just appearing in content, but also helping you with things. I remember very early on you wanted me to take pictures, and I really didn't want to, partially because I was still in that early phase of being like upset that this was even happening, partially because taking pictures is an absolute nightmare and I hate doing it, unless I'm really, really in the mood. So I really didn't like doing that, and that only happened a couple times. I think pretty early on you gave up and decided you were like, I that's too much hassle to ask you to do anything. And then eventually it just became a thing I would help you with. I would do, because we would talk about, oh, like, what ways can we promote this? What ways can we get more people to see your OnlyFans content and more people to see your Instagram and things like that? And at first it was Instagram was the way to go, and we were like trying different things within that world. And then eventually it came to Reddit, and I had experience with Reddit, so I was able to do that side of things. But I don't know the timeline very well. It was pretty fast, but not like, it wasn't right out the gate I was helping. It was, I probably helped with a couple pictures in the beginning, and then a while where I just didn't do anything, and then I was participating in content and helping you promote and things like that.
Do you read all my Reddit comments?
I read probably 99.9% of your Reddit comments. Occasionally, a post does so well that the comments are just, there are too many of them. Or I read the first word and it's just something vulgar, and I go, nah. Nah, I'm good. Like, I don't need to read that right now. Occasionally, I'll just accidentally swipe away from the note. I'll swipe the notification away, and then it's just lost in a sea of unread notifications that I don't get to on Reddit. Are
people nice on Reddit?
For the most part, they're fairly nice on Reddit. They're not great, but I would say more often than not, the comments are just vulgar, but they're nice. There are very occasional, although aggressive people who say some of the most misogynistic, fucked up things I've ever, like, read or heard in my life. Like, I've never thought of, like, if I actively sat down and thought what's the worst thing I could say to a human being, it wouldn't even be close to the things that have been said. But I mean, that happens maybe once every 6 months, and I never read them to you.
So what is it like dealing with me when I get sad about comments?
It's not too bad. You recover pretty quickly. Experience with our other friends who are in similar situations and would read the comments and get sad, they internalized them a lot more and held on to that feeling a lot longer. You get upset and you'll be sad about something for like maybe half a day. Sometimes it's like 20 minutes before you're like, fuck them. It's not too bad. In fact, I get upset about comments more regularly than you do. You don't deal with that because I don't want to let you know that those comments have upset me. So.
Do you like it? Do you like helping out with OnlyFans? Are you into it? Is it fun?
It's genuinely fun. I started out, like I said, hating it, and then I don't know. I've learned so much in doing it about like marketing and having a consistent brand and like all these things that I knew were like sort of a thing, but until I was actually doing them, helping you promote, helping you create content and stuff like that, I didn't realize the power that they had in like getting things out to people. And also like I enjoy having that skill set now, as well as sometimes it's just fun to come up with ideas, come up with, I think this specific photo would go really well as like a promotional material, and we could make this content for this specific subreddit and that'll do well and things like that. It's fun. Yeah.
This is like a really intense question, but I definitely wanted to address it a little bit. So someone asked, what are your thoughts on people, men specifically, who become like too obsessed with girls on OnlyFans or like just like girls in porn or porn in general, and just like can't talk to women anymore or like be normal around women anymore in society? And my answer to that is just that, like, number one, the porn is not the problem. Like, yes, a lot of like porn is just insane and unrealistic and dangerous. Like, I would say that if like somebody is watching porn for the first time and that's the first like look that they have at like what sex looks like, it's like very distorted. If they're watching mainstream porn, if they're going on Pornhub and just like randomly looking at videos, like that can be a really distorted view of like what sex looks like. And I think that is really dangerous. But I would say that OnlyFans is actually kind of like the fix for that problem, because OnlyFans, I mean, I said this before, but OnlyFans allows creators to make like authentic porn that is like much more realistic. It's more just like what sex really actually looks like. And most OnlyFans accounts they don't even have like sex on them. They might have like a video of somebody like masturbating or something, but like it's gonna be authentic. It's gonna be like real, because they're just regular fucking real life people. I think while that is like a problem, like while watching mainstream porn can be dangerous and affect your view on like what sex looks like, or like how to even, relate to women or whatever, I don't think OnlyFans contributes to that. And if anything, it takes away from that, It's like trying to like fight back against that. I'm also out here like saying my like opinion here. So I know that there are girls on OnlyFans who who have like their only experience with porn is watching mainstream porn as well, and so they kind of end up adopting like that sort of persona, whether or not they really like genuinely feel that way or enjoy those things. They end up like feeling like they need to look and act a certain way because of how mainstream porn is. So like I know that is also a problem, but I know at least like for me, I would never do that, and I think that more and more, there are a lot of girls who just take it in their own direction and are staying authentic to who they are, and that's good. That's good stuff. The final thing that I wanted to say about this is just that, like, I don't, as much as you want to be able to blame porn for, like, how men can act sometimes, I can't. Like, I'm not willing to do that. You have access to enough information that you should know better, you know? Like, I'm not gonna like I'm not gonna give that as an excuse. Like, I'm not gonna let men just use that as an excuse to be shitty and disrespectful. It's not fair. Like, there are literally like so many amazing, wonderful men out there being good and respectful and watching porn. It's not the fault of porn that men are gross and disrespectful. If they're gonna be that way, they probably already are that way. My subs are generally like amazing and super awesome and wonderful and respectful. And if they aren't, then I block them. Okay, next question. Has content creation had an effect on the way that I see myself? I think yes. I think that it has made me both more and less self-conscious. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, if there had been a time in the past where I was unaware of my flaws, like my physical flaws, that's not the reality for me anymore. Like, I can't go one single day without somebody commenting one of my flaws, especially on Reddit. People are incredibly rude on Reddit, and they just, say whatever the fuck they want. So I am acutely aware of what other people view as my flaws, which I was not even aware of before I even started this, before I started creating content online. Like, I never would have even thought of these things as like flaws in myself, but now like I can just see it because I hear those comments all the time, On the other hand, this has also made me like super ultra aware of my personal boundaries. Like, boundaries when it comes to interacting with people, like boundaries when it comes to like what I am and am not willing to like do or say, or people that I'm willing to be around. So I became a lot more confident asserting myself, like in social situations, and just because I'm just like more aware of like what I'm comfortable with. Yeah. I found this question a little bit funny. What do you do for long-term financial planning? And my question to you is, what do you do for long-term financial planning? I mean, in this economy, we live in a society, okay? There's just a lot to unpack about that, Like, the economy is such that nobody is going to have a retirement fund. Like, nobody in my age group is going to be able to buy a house. Nobody's going to be able to retire. We're going to have to work for the rest of our fucking lives because they're just like, because of how expensive everything is now and how wages have, I mean, everybody fucking knows this. There's just like a huge gap in like how much things cost and how much people make. So this question really applies to any job. I personally am in a much, much better position to start saving and start investing now than I ever would have been doing any other job. I have a college degree and I got a job right out of college doing what I got my degree in. So I was making, okay money, but I very, very quickly surpassed what I was making at that job doing OnlyFans. So yes, I'm actually able to save money now, which is amazing because I want to be able to buy a house one day you know, that's my dream, it's my goal, whatever. It's just like, you know, just one little thing that I would want to do. What my plans to do are just save up. I mean, I'm trying to save up to buy a house, as are a lot of people, you know. That's like a common goal. You know, I can invest some money. I've been investing some money in crypto. I'm going to invest in gold and silver, those kinds of things. Just like standard kind of things. Like literally whatever job I had, I would be trying to do the same things in order to save money, in order to have money down the road one day, you know, when I want to buy a house, when I want to retire, that kind of thing. I would be doing that. And you are doing this as well. No matter what job you have, you're trying to do this. I'm just now in a better position to save money and to do those things because of OnlyFans and because of other content creation. The last thing is also diversifying my platforms, you know, because like it's just better all around to have, you know, a Twitch, a YouTube, an OnlyFans. Like, you have to have multiple sources of income. So that is also something that I'm doing. How do you cope with the lack of respect / creeps on OnlyFans? They were very specific to say like that people would be being creepy on OnlyFans. And I wanted to kind of correct that. I feel like there's like a weird stigma around people who subscribe to OnlyFans pages, and people are like, oh, they're like creeps and they're rude and disrespectful and stuff. And it's like, no, those people are the people who are stealing my content and posting it for free, or being like, Rocket Baby's leaked content. My freaking subs are good people. They're nice. They're respectful. They don't do shit like that. So I mean, there just aren't any creeps on my OnlyFans. And if there are, if someone sends me a rude message, I literally just block them. Also, like, if people are disrespectful to me at all, like I said before, my boundaries. I know what my boundaries are. And I just fucking block them. Like, I'm not here for that. I'm not wasting my time. Just bye, Felicia. There's a lot of creeps on Reddit, so I don't read Reddit comments anymore. I used to, and it made me very depressed. So I just really try to avoid reading Reddit comments at all costs. And then here, I made a little note that just says fall into depression, lol. But it's not really that lol. It's like a legit problem. Like, I get messages every day, multiple messages of people being like, you're the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my life, you know, you're absolutely perfect, you look like a goddess, you know, etc., etc., etc. And as much as I hate to say this, but it's just the truth, literally 10 of those comments cannot outweigh a single rude person who just says, you know, some stupid opinion that they have. They might not even have it. They might just be fucking trolling, but it doesn't matter, because that it really hits you. It's like super, super negative. So like, I mean, don't say that. Don't say rude shit to people. It's awful. It genuinely hurts me. And like, there are days where I feel like garbage and I can't do anything. I can't even make my content. I don't feel inspired to make my content, because I'm like, why am I bothering when people are just going to be rude and mean to me about it? Or they're going to steal it, you know, and impersonate me, and just like, they don't give two shits about any of my content. And it's like, it can really get you down. It really, really gets me down sometimes. So yeah, you know, I deal with that as best I can, which is just cry in my bed and complain to my boyfriend. And yeah. Wow, that was intense. That was a lot. Okay, moving on. How do I find shooting partners? The answer to this is I don't. I pretty much only shoot videos with my boyfriend. And then if I ever make like girl content, which I have some of, they're either people that I know in real life, like girls that I'm actually just friends with from my real life, or they're girls that I've met on Instagram. This was another question that I found kind of funny, because I was like, would you ask this to like would you ask this to someone who's like a accountant? Accountant's a poor word choice because people use that as a metaphor, whatever. They use that to mean OnlyFans. Would you ask this to a freaking cashier? So the question is, what would you consider the peak of your career? What's like your final goal or end game? So I guess to this I want to say, like, for content creators, and I know this isn't just me, I think this pretty much like is across the board for anyone who puts out content on the internet. There's always a bigger number. There is always a bigger number. Like, there's always more subscribers. There's always more followers. There's, like, once you get literally, like, this, I don't know, like, I would have thought, like, oh, when I reach 10K, I'm going to get, you know, my swipe up links on Instagram, and I'm going to feel satisfied. I'm going to feel happy. But no, once you reach 10K, then the goal is 20K. It's just, like, it's just that there's always a bigger number. I don't know. Like, I could say, oh, if I had 1 million followers on Instagram, I would feel happy. I would feel satisfied. But that isn't true. I would just be waiting for the next million. Like, you just, there's no end to it. It's just, like, how far you can go. So, I don't know. I don't know how far I can go. I'm going to find out, I guess. I'm just going to go. I'm going to keep working. That's all. That's all I can do. But I mean, I guess, like, life-wise, my end game is to, like, have a husband and a kid and buy a house and, you know, settle down and be a good mom and stuff. That's kind of, like, my end game. Which platform brings you the most joy? Twitch, YouTube, or OnlyFans? So right now, I mean, there's pros and cons to every single platform. But I would say right now, the most joy that I feel when I'm putting out content is, like, getting interactions with my YouTube videos. I really like getting comments on my YouTube videos. I really like getting subscribers on YouTube. It just feels the most satisfying to me. And maybe it's because, like, I have, like, a specific goal in mind, like a concrete goal that I'm trying to reach, because I really want to be able to monetize my YouTube channel. So I'm, like, excited about that, and I'm excited for, like, when that happens. So maybe that's part of why it's more exciting, but, like, I don't know. I'm also really proud of everything that I put up on YouTube. Like, there's just so much work that goes into it. And I feel like the videos end up having to be, like, much higher quality than anything else that I put out. So yeah, right now YouTube is giving me chef's kiss. Next question. What is the most challenging issue on each platform? So for me personally, for OnlyFans, the hardest thing to do is respond to messages, because OnlyFans is the one place where I absolutely respond to DMs. Like, I respond to every message that I get. I mean, as long as it's not, like, rude or disrespectful, or if it's like, hey, you know, whatever, then I won't respond. But, like, for the most part, I respond to DMs, and that means responding to at least, like, 20 DMs per day. And that's a lot, because I am a shitty texter. Like, I freaking suck at getting back to people. My best friend will text me, and it'll be, like, 2 full days before I respond to her. And, like, that's somebody that I want to respond to. Like, some of these messages are literally, like, I have, like, a hard time coming up with what I'm going to say in response. So, yeah, for OnlyFans, it's definitely responding to DMs. Like, don't get me wrong, I love talking to my subs, and, like, having conversations with them can be really fun and interesting. I'm just, like, I am horrible at getting back to people. So actually forcing myself to DM people back is really freaking hard. Twitch is just exhausting. Like, just straight up so freaking tiring. And maybe it's because I've really pushed myself and I'm doing, like, at least 3 streams a week. But, like, yeah, I think that think that like because it's so tiring, I can end up being really low energy on some streams, and then it's just not what I want. Like I'm not acting like excited enough, I'm not acting like interesting or funny enough in this stream, and then it like really gets me down and like makes me frustrated. So that just adds to how tiring it is. Yeah. And like I like Twitch too. I really enjoy getting to like play games and share that with people and really like interact with my fans live and stuff. It's really fun. And it is just exhausting. For YouTube, just like right now, it's really hard to just like reach the kind of numbers that I want on YouTube, like subscribers, views. I will work really, really hard on a video, especially my gaming videos, and they just like don't get that many views, and it's like frustrating. So yeah, numbers. I'm really excited about this question. Do you like fan art? And can fan artists redraw your content? First of all, I freaking love fan art. I personally am an artist, and an artist who has done a lot of fan art of both content creators and also just like stuff that I'm really into and excited about. So I understand from the artist's perspective why fan art is so cool and so fun. So yes, I am absolutely 100% there for fan art. Please draw me. Like, help yourself. I don't want to have like a blanket statement for all like creators, because this is not how all creators feel. Like, a lot of creators feel weird about fan art, or feel like weird about when people draw specific things. Like if people are drawing them sexy or something, like it bothers them. So don't feel like you can do that for everybody. But for me personally, I'm like, dude, you're the artist. Like, the art is yours. It's not for me to decide what you draw. I don't mind if you're using my image, like, but literally, like, you know, create, do whatever you want. Have fun with it. If I'm inspiring to you, then like, hooray, that makes me feel really happy. Yeah, so please, there's very, very few instances of fan art that I could imagine being like, ew, like, why would they do that, you know? I don't know, go for it. Literally go for it. Also, like, even if it was weird and like super out there, I think it would be funny. Like, I don't know. I just don't give a shit. Please draw me. Enjoy yourself and draw me. I will say though, I am very, very, very picky about what I think is good fan art. This also comes from being an artist myself. There's fan art that I really like, and there's fan art that I think is not just bad, but also lazy. So I'm gonna show you some examples. Basically, if you are just also, like, I understand for like me and like people who create content like me, like Instagram models and stuff, what's fun about drawing them is because like they have like a great figure and they look like really good in specific poses and stuff that they have like pictures of up on their Instagram. So I understand the desire to just redraw those images. And I've done it myself too, you know, like I'm a fan of some of these girls, and I'll like redraw their pictures too, because it's fun and it's like, you know, they look amazing. So I want to like recreate it in art, you know, in my own style. But there's that version of it, and then there's also the version of it that's just like gross. It's just like people who have only put any effort into learning how to draw like boobs, and they just really love to trace boobs. They like to take your picture and just like literally trace over it, and they're like, oh look, I made some fan art of you, it's your titties. I'm like, I don't mind. I literally don't care. I just like, I'm not impressed. I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, that's so good, because I'm like, no, it's not. You're not a good artist. The best fan art is creative. It's literally super, super creative. If you're an artist and you can draw anything, you have like the whole, you know, your limit is your imagination as an artist. You can take my image, you know, like what I look like, and you could draw me like any way you wanted. that's like a lot of power. So why bother just like tracing over something that already exists, you know? So yes, what I'm trying to say is, bottom line, yes, you can draw me. No, I don't really care what you draw, what of my content you draw. If you're drawing my content, whatever, I don't care. Do it, please. I don't share it with me. I would love to see it. And if you want me to be impressed by you, it's got to be good. It's got to be good and creative. Oh my god, I have 2 questions left. Okay, let's get through this. When do you see yourself quitting OnlyFans, and how do you think the transition will look? And I haven't really thought about that. I feel like if it's possible that if there's like a time where I feel like I'm making enough money by doing just Twitch and YouTube stuff, then like it's possible, like maybe I won't feel like it down the road. But for right now, like I really like making OnlyFans content. I really enjoy that, and I feel like it's a very creative, fun process for me. So I don't see myself quitting, you know? I'm also planning to be hot forever, so I saved this one for last because I thought maybe it would be kind of funny. What are some of the strangest requests that you've gotten? And to be honest, it takes a lot to like kind of weird me out at this point. I think back when I first started doing OnlyFans, like a lot of things, I didn't have like any idea what was happening. There was a lot of stuff that I didn't understand yet about it. But right now, like, it takes a lot to like weird me out. But some of the things, let's see. Back when I was doing customs for the first time, somebody sent me like a full script, and they were like, "This is the custom that I want. I want you to like perform this script." And it had like lines of dialogue, it had like direction, like it was literally like a full script for like a play. And I was like, oh my god, that's nuts. That's so much. I can also think of this one photo shoot that I did of like, it was like a photo set custom, and he wanted me to like pretend to be his stepmom, and in order to do that, like he wanted me to like write him a birthday card and like address it as if it was like love stepmom on the birthday card, and then do like a photo shoot with it. So that was very weird for me, but it was kind of fun, you know. That is it, guys. That's all the questions. I got like other questions too, but it would have been way too much to answer them all in this video. So yeah, I hope that answered some of your burning questions about what doing OnlyFans looks like, what it looks like to be a content creator, you know, at least what it looks like for me. Yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoyed that experience. And I will see you in the next video.